Are we live? We are live! Shoot. Let me turn this off, this filter. Turn off the filter. And here I am. The show's gonna start pretty soon at 8 o'clock. The We Don't Even Know podcast. This looks like a backpack, you know, like Zach. He's got a locker on his back, but it's not. It's a thing for my posture, so I don't slouch. But I can slouch if I want to. See? But it's a little harder. I can feel it's a little restrained. But yeah, it's supposed to be for my posture. And I don't know if you can see, but these eyebrows, they're not real. They look pretty cool. And you're saying, Jason Lamb, why are you wearing fake eyebrows? Because this is what it looks like if I don't wear fake eyebrows. Look, it looks like I don't have eyebrows. It looks like I have no eyebrows. So let me put the fake eyebrows back on. Okay. I feel like I'm loud because it's loud in my headphones. Anyway, it's Tuesday, January 26, 2021. 7:55. We got some time. Go grab a drink. You got like about 5 minutes to grab a drink, or don't grab a drink and just listen to me talk. I'll drink a little. It looks like whiskey, but it's probably vodka. It's vodka. It's just a dirty glass. All right. What's going on? Let me show you what's on my desk. I got some Tabasco sauce, some other Tabasco sauce, green Tabasco sauce, El Yucateco. Whoa, gross. Look at that gross hair. Gross. Anyway, it's Black Label Reserve El Yucateco hot sauce. Really good. Smoky flavor. What else do I have on my desk? I got some crushed red pepper flakes. Can you see that? Crushed red pepper flakes. It's good for like putting on pizzas and spaghettis. I don't eat pizzas anymore, but it would be good on pizzas. What else do I have on my desk? Some old Mucinex. It's old. It's probably expired by now. Yeah, it is expired. 12/2020. I should just throw it away, but I'm going to put it back on my desk. Okay. We got about 3 minutes to go. Did you get your drink yet? Did you get some vodka and put it in a dirty glass? All right. What else? Do I have any other hot sauces on my desk? Oh, I do. I have some, I do have some more hot sauces. Some Chinese takeout red hot sauce packets. Those have been on my desk for a while. What else? There's plenty of stuff on my desk, but I'm just trying to think about hot sauces, or if I have any more hot sauces. I have peppermint oil. Can you see that? Peppermint oil? It's backwards on the camera. What else? Oh, lavender oil. I like the peppermint oil better than the lavender oil. They say the lavender oil is supposed to help you sleep better and feel calm. Let me try some. Try a little lavender oil. I'm gonna try some peppermint oil. I like peppermint oil better. Peppermint oil. Oh, broke off the little thing. Okay, I got the dropper. Woo! You know, my roommate Rusty, he used to put a little peppermint oil under his nose. Woo, woo, woo. Why did I do that? Woo. Okay, I'm gonna put the peppermint oil back. It's running down my upper lip. I got on my tongue. It's on my lips now. Whew. Tastes like peppermint. All right, what else? Some Velcro ties. These are nice. These are good for wrapping cables up and stuff. I got Gonzo odor absorbing gel. Smells like green bamboo. What else? Oh, let me show you my collection of plastic utensils that are on my desk. I got this, a new bag, unopened bag of spoon, fork and knife, and a napkin, chopsticks with a spoon wrapped around a napkin. There's chopsticks, a fork, plastic fork. Open. The bag is already open, and I took out the spoon and knife out of those. Another little thing of fork, a spoon, and there is a knife. There's a knife. Here's more chopsticks and a fork. Another fork. Already took out the knife and spoon out of that. A fork and spoon. No knife. Did I open it and take out the knife? I did not. This thing does not have a knife in it. It's just the spoon and fork. Here is a straw. Here is another, no more chopsticks. Another thing, chopsticks. A fork, a black fork. A black spork. Can you see that? It's a spork. It's a fork and spoon combined. It's a spork. More chopsticks. Another thing of chopsticks. A napkin that I probably got out of one of these plastic things. Salt and pepper that I got probably out of one of these little things of this peppermint running all my mouth. And that's all. That's all the plastic utensils on my desk. So we're gonna start the show. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shanali Bomick and Christian Felix for We Don't Even Know. Are you there?
Wow, man.
Oh, man.
So
Are we
captivating.
Woo, we are so lucky. Are you kidding? Jason, it's hard to come on after an intro like that. I don't think I've ever had anyone share all their plastic utensils on any show with me.
That level of variety. A spork. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying, Jason? Well, a tough act to follow. That's what I'll say. Shanali, you look amazing. What I've never seen that outfit.
My first time out on the town in my new silk PJs that I got for Christmas from Jasper. I'm wearing it on my zebra, on top of my zebra. I'm
Zebra,
all the
zebra.
Yeah.
Well,
We know
without
that.
further ado, can we get?
Yeah, let's get this show on the road, everyone. Happy New Year. Let's do this.
All right.
Ready?
A one.
1,
Two.
2, 1, 2, 3.
We
don't even know.
We
don't even know.
With
Christian
Felix,
Shanali Bowman.
we
don't even know. One more time. We don't even know.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't even know.
Shenali.
With Christian Felix, Shenali Bowman. We don't even know.
Oh man, I'm so happy we rehearsed that, Shenali. I'm so happy we rehearsed that.
Let's bring it 2021, everyone. First show of the year. We made it here.
We did.
Survived 2020, Christian. We did.
I am so happy that's in the rear view, Shenali. I can't even begin to tell you.
I mean, I know you and I have been, he's been one of my comfort friends during this pandemic, for sure.
Who's he?
His name is Christian Felix.
Oh, me. Well, you pointed to, I thought you were talking to Jasper.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I mean, I'm just saying that, I know, because on the screen, you know how it is? Like, you're down there.
Okay.
But you should be right there.
Right,
That's
okay.
Where you should be.
Okay. So you're right.
Yeah. So, guys.
We witnessed an inauguration.
Yep.
An amazing inauguration.
Let's go. January. We did December. We had a wonderful show with 2 wonderful guests. We ended the year, I think, on what could be the most positive way to end the year with Shams DeBaron and Ramsey Jones. Mm-hmm. And then we get to January 2021, and we're so excited. And, that was hard because we all witnessed an insurrection. Those things happen all the time. We just happen to witness it in real time.
Yeah, they happen all the time. Just another daily insurrection. WTF.
And then we witnessed an inauguration in real time. All of us at home in our on our couches. Christian's got a new couch, so that's something new that's happened in this January. So you actually, you weren't sitting on the new couch then, maybe, but now you have a new couch.
I do.
So we're celebrating that couch today. And we actually are going to celebrate the fact that we survived 2020 and that, you know what, with all that's said and done, we're here together. And you know what, things are going to get better. The thing that I do want to check in with all of you.
We're starting from a pretty low bar, Shenali, with the insurrection. You can't get
much
worse than that.
Well, I think this is the high note for me so far. 2021, no resolutions, no reason to freaking have a resolution. That is so awesome for me. I've been eating. I have had this January already. I've already made 2 batches. When I say 2 batches of oatmeal raisin cookies, that means 2 times 4 dozen. And then I made 4 dozen chocolate chip cookies 2 days ago, and they're almost gone.
You're going in the opposite direction of resolution.
Yes, you guys find your comfort zone and enjoy that. I know Danny Cohen was watching, and he's with us on this. I'm with him every step of the way. He was talking on Instagram a few days ago about just the debate with himself about having a bagel in the morning. Yeah. And I related to him because my issue is cookies in the morning. Guess what? No debate. I'm just doing it. Doing it.
Shenali, you've given us so much to consider. I hear you with the resolutions. The one thing I do want to say about the insurrection is that I really hope we come up with a name for the people who were involved, but I haven't heard of a name that sticks. So that's what I'm still out there looking at. In respect to the resolution, I gotta say,
no resolution.
Your camp, actually. I felt that I went through so much through 2020 with not even 2020, just the last 4 years. And then on top of that, 2020, that I got to the point where, you know what? I feel like I already put in the work for resolutions.
We've done this.
Great. But I will say,
we've done it. We've been pushing.
I hear you, but Shenali, not every. You know what? My sister's doing dry January. God bless her.
No, everybody. What? It's like that was so 2020. Dry January. Look, it's 2021. Forget about your resolutions. Enjoy yourself. You know what? You do you every second of the day. You don't know what's coming next. We've learned that about 2020. enjoy. And let me tell you, Christian and I did last year at this time, mid-January, we did Whole30. We are not doing that again this
Hey,
year.
now speak for
I'm
yourself.
not doing it.
Now I'm not going to do the whole 30, but instead of doing a dry January, I'm being smart about it and I'm doing February. It's just a Shanalia. She's chugging Aperol.
Christian, look at this goblet. This is the biggest drink. And look at the lipstick. I'm going to leave the lipstick there for you guys because I don't care. And then look at that is a big goblet.
Wow. Now, Shanalia, I
Set
see in the comments that people are curious about my couch. I just so happen, even though you just kind of surprised me with that, I just so happen to have a background filter picture ready for people.
Of your couch?
The couch. It wasn't something
Oh, yeah, please.
for. The rest of the room is not to be judged. Okay, I'm putting my business out there. It's not exactly dirty laundry, but still, it's a little bit of vulnerability. So don't judge the room, just the couch, people, and the pillow.
Don't judge the room.
Here we go.
Just the couch. Woo! Oh, you were prepared, my man.
You know what I'm saying?
It looks so good. And look, oh.
You know what I'm saying? Real chill. Way to start 2020.
And can you, and first of all, that is a beautiful couch. Thank you for sharing that. These are the little things. Will you explain to everyone also who may not understand how awesome that couch is, what the old couch was? Tell them.
Wow, you really throwing me under the bus with this.
No, that's not
reflection on.
This is relatability, communicating with our friends about how we all are coming up together. Come on.
Listen, I don't spend a lot of time in this room. Now that I have a new couch, I probably spend a little bit more time in the room.
No disclaimers. Just explain.
Let me explain my space. All right, let me explain my space. The couch I had was a couch I simply inherited from an old roommate of mine it was their family couch. So if I had to guess, I would say the couch was probably about 30 years old. Is that what you want?
Thank you. I mean, that's the New York. That's what we do. We get to New York. We inherit furniture. Because I saw Fran Leibowitz's special recently, and she said, no one can afford to live in New York. So don't even debate that. If you want to be here, you live here. That's it.
Yeah,
and the fact is, we all get here. We're like inheriting furniture because it's expensive to live here. And I had the same thing prior to my couch. I had inherited a couch.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say if I had to put a percentage on the other things in that room that I didn't have to buy, you'd still be surprised. So, we're making little baby steps with the couch. Now I have a couch.
And the pillows are cool too.
So thank you. They're by way of my mother. Now it's a funny gift when parents give you certain things. My mom was like, I was home one Christmas or one time. She's like, Christian, I got these pillows. I'm not really sure about them in my space. Do you want them? It's like, Mom, yeah, I think they're kind of cool. Like punctuation, it's kind of cool. So gives them to me. And then I tell her, now that was many years ago. Now I'm like, hey Mom, I'm getting a new couch. She's like, wow, do you still have those pillows? I said, I do, Mom. She's like, do you want to give them back? I swear to God, parents, man.
She wants them back.
Hey, I told her no. She's not getting the pillows back. The other one is a question mark.
You don't give a New Yorker something and then want it back. I mean,
don't work that way.
No.
Anyway.
But you know what? I just want to say thank you for being my friend through 2020. You are someone that definitely made it. The best of times in my 2020 were with you. If it was laughing on my Zooms, laughing on the phone, laughing in our social distance hangs, thank you. And then on our show. And that's, and this show itself has also brought me so much happiness because we've been able to virtually hang with friends that we want the world to meet and see and hear and celebrate. And even though we didn't get to be in our live space in the Red Room where we have been doing it for a while now, this has been quite a great way to make this happen for us, So if it's for selfish reasons, so be it. 2021, no resolutions. You do you, you do you, you do you. That's it.
Shanalia, you do you, and right back at you. All that. Is that a fog machine, by the way, that you have?
Oh yeah.
You got a fog machine?
Guys,
all right, Lady Gaga.
I didn't get a fog machine. I learned why one of the reasons my eczema this fall and last fall has gotten so bad is humidity levels. This is backwards probably for you
Okay.
guys, but
Denali
um,
PSA, listen up.
I have gone to dermatologist, allergist. Nobody has brought up the fact that dry weather will mess you up. And I know, you guys, I do have a brain. I do know that dry weather will affect you, but I've lotioned myself up. I had no idea that my home had a dangerously low humidity rate of 25. In the 20s is low. So 3 days ago, we bought a gauge. 3 days ago. I've been alive for a lot longer than 3 days. And I found out this place is 25 wasn't even, it was like 22.
Outrage.
And so now I have a humidifier right beside me. You guys saw it. It gives me this cool, smoky rock star look.
Feeling, Shanali, you have a glow about you that it can't even be described. Your skin looks effervescent, and we see the data. We see the data.
Well, I just want everyone to know what's comfortable. What we should be is 40 to 60. Okay. And so I'm at 47.
Now you're in comfort.
And Christian, thank you for asking about my smoke machine. And but you know what we should do is we should get on to introducing the world.
Let's get on with it.
Guys, we're so happy our next guest could join us. She's so busy. We use this word. I want to say I use this word with the best intention behind it. A solid creative in every way, very much in the same vein I think of Christian and myself, because we like to do so many different things. And New York lends itself to doing that. Our next guest does that. She's primarily now working as a showrunner. She's a director, a producer, a writer, speaker. She does it all. Her name is Kadine Anckle. So let's hear it for Kadine.
Anckle, right on, coming into the Zoom cocoon. Hey!
Yeah. Here I am. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, pretty lady.
How are you guys?
Good. Thank you for making it. I'm so happy you're here.
Having me. This is so cool. I was like, oh wow, I have a reason to shower.
Me too. I'm with you. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, really. I was like, look at me putting on makeup. Go ahead, girl.
I went to bed yesterday and I said to myself, Christian, you didn't shower today. I never used to say that.
No, that's not like an option. Like, it's literally like, I told my sister, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this podcast. It's going to be really cool. I was like, I don't need to shower. She's like, go shower. I was like, yeah. I was just kidding. I mean, I literally, like, what you're seeing, this is where I spend like all my time, which I'm so grateful for, right? Like,
right.
How lovely that I'm like, oh, I sit in my house all day. Like, that's such a beautiful blessing, and I'm very grateful for it. And like, I'm afforded the luxury of working from home right now.
Yes.
And that's awesome, but it's also a lot, right? Like,
yeah, because your workspace, your living space, you're like absorbing the new space, everything. Your eating space is one space. Like,
yeah, like you guys don't even know what's around. Right? Like, there's this. It's just like, it's like I look like that cover of the New Yorker, and there's just like stuff everywhere where you can't see it. There's just like like notebooks. There's yarn.
Yarn.
Yeah, cayenne pepper. Like, seriously.
Is the pandemic, or is yarn something that would have been in your space prior to the pandemic?
Yarn has always been. I like to make crafts, right? So I crochet. Okay. So like, I left it sitting there, like, pick it up, do it. Have not picked it up.
The thing is, it's the universal truth again of living in New York City, where we all, in those few moments where, if you've had anyone in your home at all, mine is like a repairman to fix the leak in the bathroom. In those few moments where you're concerned with what your apartment looks like, you're like, what? We all have the same look. It's all the same. Everyone's space looks the same. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. There's boxes stacked up. I mean, we're doing everything in one space.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why is there so much stuff? Like, now I'm on a mission, like, there's stuff. I'm just like calling my friends, like, I'm getting rid of stuff today, guys. They're like, Yeah, I decided I need to buy a steam cleaner to steam clean things.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, look at that grime. That's it. I swear to God, I've been on Amazon perusing steamers, like steam cleaners. So
I want you guys to pat me on the back because for the first time since I've ever lived here in New York, which I've lived here now since 2003,
oh,
I finally pulled out all the CDs under my bed and I went through them and I kept like the things that my friends' music and things that I like mean so much to me that I can't let go. And I boxed up 5 boxes and I found this thing online called Declutter, and you can just scan the barcodes and see what they'll pay you. I'm telling everybody in the world. And then I just I have a little cart. I took the boxes to UPS and I'm making money too.
stop.
I did that. Pandemic. Thank you, pandemic 2020. That's what happened.
That's really good. No, like I have like a metal, like, like high school, like medical files cabinet full of like CDs and like, I don't know, costumes, just randomness. And I'm like, why is this here? And it needs to go, but I'm like, but it's mementos and like whatever. I'm like, you don't need that CD you got for free like 10 years ago, So maybe
you're mentioning all these things you have, Kadine, and I know our guests are probably curious about like, who's this Kadine? Who
is this?
So I remember when Shanali's like, so how should we, describe what you do in this? And you're like, well, I normally describe myself as creative. I'm just curious, like, what does that encompass?
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's just easier to call myself a creative in the sense that like for work, these days I'm a showrunner. So I make TV shows for like, TV or like, streaming services, whatever.
So when you say a showrunner, because I know like some people understand like what a director is, what a producer is. I mean, I even though I've been on shows and
still
stuff.
don't know. Still don't know.
You interface with like the writers? Are you responsible for like the arc of the show? Like, I mean,
yeah, it's the lead creative of a show. It's the person who like steers the ship in how it's made. And so like you're basically like the head writer producer, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I like.
I know that you did, and the show. I mean, I know that went on 3 seasons. Most expensivest.
Yeah. That was my baby.
Yes, and I love from what I have seen of you that you celebrate your work, what you've done, because I don't think enough of us, especially brown and black folk, actually step up to say I did this, because otherwise we're pretty much not recognized for doing that, and especially as a woman. So I love that you were like, this is my baby, I did this, and I think it's fantastic. 3 seasons on it was Viceland, right? It got picked up. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so flattered. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is, it's hard, right? Like I actually, like considering myself a creative. So like I always wrote, I always write. Writing is where it all kind of started from. And then it's gone in just all different directions. But I remember like the only people that ever really knew that I wrote were my sisters and like cousins. They'd be like, I wrote this thing, read it. What do you think? Oh my God. And then I was able to pursue a career in it and really like do something with it. So now I'm just like, wait a minute, this is cool. Like I'm doing this and I'm going to share it. And it took my older sister's like my second mom. And she's like, you got to celebrate yourself so other people can see it. So that's where I got that from. And I think it's just like, my big like claim to fame was I was very proud of the fact that like the #1 show on Viceland was Most Expensivest, and it was like a bunch of chicks that put together this like male, skewing show. So that I was very, very proud of that.
Yes.
So in terms of like your family, now you were born in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many siblings do you have?
So I have 4 sisters. And 2 of them I'm super duper, like 2 of them are my half sisters, 2 are my full sisters with my mother's daughters. So I'm very tight with them. I actually live with one. She's on the other side of the door. She's meal prepping, talking to our older sister. Literally, like
Awesome.
they're talking shit about me right now, you know, like, but yeah, so I'm very tight with those two sisters.
And the whole family moved to the States, to Pennsylvania together?
We moved to Pennsylvania. My mom and me and my little sister moved to Pennsylvania. Like that was during like when everything was going on in Panama, like literally war. And
Wow.
and then at the same time, like my parents split up. My mom was like, "We out," and so we left. And so came with my sister, and we moved to Pennsylvania. My older sister was 18 and went straight to college in South Carolina. She went to Claflin College, which is now Claflin University. And we've been in the US ever since. I came to New York after college. I was like, I'm gonna pursue my dreams, you know, I'm gonna do a thing.
Was your mom supportive of that? Because I know sometimes, and Shanali and I have talked to our friends and each other about sometimes parents' expectations and, you know, going into creative fields and all that.
Yeah.
Like, is your mom pretty like, go for it, girl?
She really was in her own way, in the sense of like her thing was like, I want you to be educated. You know, like she's like, a girl child is nothing without her education. That's what she still says to this day. And I'm like, I'm old, ma, you know.
That's my mom too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's so important. And because like she didn't reach those levels of education, right? So if for her, it was like my daughters will have what I didn't have. So she never cared about what it was specifically that we wanted to be or do, as long as like we went to school and we were the best at it. You know, she was like, you know, and like, and not the best, like, you know, big accolades, but just like do your best. That was her
Right.
thing. So, you know, that was,
See, my mom actually was, my sister and I still discuss this. She goes to Yale, she goes to, which was great.
yeah.
Not Harvard, you know, if you're an Indian woman, not Harvard. And then she got an A-, and that was talked about. We still talk about this today. We give my mom such a hard time. I'm like,
Incredible.
are you kidding me? So yeah, your mom sort of got it.
Sort of. But you know what? You just reminded me, in high school, I went to Catholic school, which was a whole other thing. And I struggled with math, right? Like it's just not my thing. And so math with science was just like, why? So what was it? Chemistry? Forget it. And I got like the only D I've ever gotten in my life. And I did not see the light of day other than at school that whole quarter. She was like, oh, you want to come home with a D? And I was like, I don't get it. She's like, nothing. Like I could only like go to like school activities, you know, like I wasn't like, I tried to like get into every club at that point, you know what I mean? Like, this thing.
Now, when you were at school and now you're Panamanian, and when you explain that to people, what was that met with? Was it met with understanding? Was it met with surprise? I mean,
And I also want to just shout out that, so you are Latina. So it's so that, you know, I mean, I think, and I read that and saw an article about you just saying being an Afro-Latina is also in and of itself, like talk about a unicorn. That in and of itself is something that's not even acknowledged for most, you know, people don't see that, right?
People don't get it, I guess.
Is that part of their perception of Panama and having Afro people there? And
100%. Yeah, I think people just, you know, I mean, we're getting a lot better at it, right? But in general, people think like, oh, Latinas are brown with long, like brown hair, right? And, you know, they don't expect to see like a Black chick with locks and think, oh, she's a Latina, but here we are. And I'm super proud of that. And, you know, you forget, like in the sense of like, not that I'm very proud of my heritage, but like, you know, like, so if I start speaking Spanish, you know, people like literally, they're just like, how did you do that? How did you learn it like that? Your accent. And I'm like, I'm from Panama. There's Black people there. And you're just like, there are.
Now, I have a question about Panama because my sister studied in Costa Rica. I've been to Costa Rica 3 times. And one of those trips, I actually spent 3 weeks and I traveled around the country. And I woke up to the fact, I went to the port city of Limon, and Limon is a critical mass area of Afro-Latino, Afro-Costa Ricans. And I kind of got the background and the backstory and realized that there was histories of segregation, a history of colorism and all of those things. And I guess I didn't realize how deep some of those conflicts and issues were in a country like Costa Rica. I was wondering, did you experience any of that in Panama? Is it different in Panama in respect to those issues?
It's the same, you know, like there's deep seated like discrimination, you know, like everybody wants their hair to be flowing in the wind. Not as much anymore, right? Because it's like 2021. So there is actually like currently like a push for embracing your Afro ethnicity. And you know, they have like Afro Ethnic Day now, and like the girl, the day of the Panamanian girl, like, but you know, the same things that happened with like hair, like it was like illegal for little girls to wear braids to school. And there was a
Oh.
huge protest, you know, and it was a huge
Totally.
thing.
Ah.
You
Isn't
know,
that
and
wild
that's
how
not natural.
black women hair in particular is such a universally polarizing issue, and all over
It's
the
so
place,
weird.
even in Africa, even in South Africa.
Okay,
you
I have
these
a story
issues.
that I have to share. I'm sorry, but this is like one of my
Yes.
favorite things in the world. She's gonna kill me. It's my sister who's on the other side. But
Do it.
yeah, she lived in where was she? She lived in Zambia, right? Because my sister is in health, and she was doing like she was running a clinic in Zambia doing like HIV research, right? She's the right, like I like work in TV, and my sisters are like saving the world. But she's down there like being like doing all the good, and she wanted to get a driver's license, and so she had to take a picture to get a driver's license. My sister also has locks, and this is in Africa, and she went to go get it, and they told her that she couldn't take her picture that way because her hair was not natural, and so she had to go on like a wild journey because she went into the city, you know what I mean? Like she went into the city, and she lived in the outskirts, so her and someone else went on like a wild goose chase to find a wig. So
And
that
to
she
be
could
clear,
take her picture.
just so we're all on the same page, that these were Black Zambians and Black
Yeah.
Africans were giving her this feedback. And it's so interesting that you're talking about having locks. When I went to Africa for the only time I went to Kenya and Tanzania and Zanzibar, I had like 10-year-old locks. And it was just like people assume that you're going to be treated like Bob Marley, or you're going to be treated like just like it's going to be embraced if you're Black, and that doesn't always happen. You know, it's
Wow.
Not at all.
Wow. I mean, you're blowing people's minds here. That.
Yeah. So the best is though that my sister
she has a picture.
Yeah. So she like finds they like find this woman working in like a hair salon, you know, like a little dusty, and she like, you know, like takes a wig off her head literally and dusts it off. They borrow it, take it to the DMV, and she like fits it on top of her locks. And
I think you got to work that story into a TV show. I'm sorry.
So it's making its way. Like for Christmas this year, you know, it's been a crazy year. So I made everybody gifts, right? I was like, instead of like buying stuff, I'm going to make people gifts. So like me and my group of friends, you know, we're all very tight. And so they all know the story about my sister. So I made everybody tote bags with the picture of my sister from the
Oh, dang. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
She's out in the world with that picture now.
And the best is that it's like literally her driver's license, and they said that she was a male and she was born in like 1931. Like it was just wrong on all levels.
Now she's gonna be showing up in the farmer's market like that, man.
I'll have to send you guys the picture just so you can.
Oh, please, we'll share that.
Yeah.
Well, Kadine, I have two questions before we have to wrap it up. But we've talked to you for so long. What are you doing, and what has been your comfort zone? What is your go-to during this time that has brought you happiness, comfort, or just like just a feeling of calm during this time?
That's that's such a great question. So in the summer, I'll say, because now it's different, but in the summer I garden. So like I have a backyard. I'm very fortunate in that way. So like that's how like I was able to just like be somewhere else, you know.
Wow.
In my backyard planting shit, excuse my language.
And the humidifier.
I love this during like the fog. I'm like, go ahead.
This is my fog. So for everyone that's watching or listening in other cities, I always need to restate, in New York, it is not common to have a backyard, your own backyard.
Yeah. No, I'm so blessed. Like literally, my sister found this apartment. We're never leaving, you know? And so, you know,
So what do you like to plant, Kadine, since we're on that? Just real quick, what were the top two, top three?
okay. So I grew up in Panama, you know, and the big thing was like my grandmas, when I was at their house, they would send me outside to pick the tea leaves every morning and they would make fresh tea. So I'm growing like lemongrass and peppermint and stuff. And like, it just takes me back to like being a kid.
I'm just a throw over and
that is
so whenever you want to have a little bit of lemongrass tea, just let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
Little tea cakes.
Right? Tea is like my jam, you know. I just bought a
that's
Amazing.
yeah.
that is so good. That just inspired me. I need some lemongrass tea right now. But
Good. I wanted to just compliment your embroidery before I go. It's
thank
so
you,
beautiful.
Kadine, thank you. And
It's
you
so
guys, I didn't ask her to say
No,
that. She
no,
just
no.
said it. I want so this is one of the things I've been doing at least in the past 3 weeks.
It's so good.
It brought me so much calm. I've never done it before. I found a kit and so I'm showing it up close to everybody.
You did so good.
Thank you so
You know what,
much. I am
Sally, you're gonna
obsessed
earn
with
a
the
good
mistake.
reaction from
It
me.
looks like you bought it on Etsy.
Yes, I know. I told her, I'm like, are you gonna is this gonna be your new form of income? I mean, it's
Hey, my goal is to come up with my own patterns. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not, again, no pressure on me right now. It's 2021.
Yeah.
We do ourselves.
Yep.
That's
Are
it.
you on Craftsy?
I haven't been on there. No, but
Well, so you can learn how to make all sorts of things, and like I think they have, and it's like not that expensive, and you can probably teach yourself. But I mean, you can find it on YouTube as well. But teach yourself. You basically just draw your own patterns with like
patterns. Yeah.
and then
you know,
you
Shirley,
I've seen.
based on Kadine's idea with the tote bag and her sister, if you want to try a new pattern, you could base that pattern on my face and my bicep.
I think that was
And Kadine's face.
that was
gorgeous face.
Gotta do it now.
I'm gonna wear a red bandana around my head like Kadine, and I'm gonna be like that, like that
This is
picture.
Tupac. This is me being Tupac.
Well, Kadine, I want to thank you so much for being with us tonight. And what awesome. We're gonna all be in touch. We're gonna have tea outside sometime soon.
We're gonna have tea outside, really.
Yes,
really.
and I want to congratulate you on all your success. You're doing big things, and it's so impressive, and it makes me happy. I explained to Christian, we became friends. Primarily, I just saw how funny and cool you are on Facebook via friends of friends. Jordan Clifford is also someone.
Clifford, yo, that dude is one of the funniest, coolest
people
I've ever met. I stalked him in California. Like I was at a restaurant, a bar, and I saw him and I was like, is that him or his twin? Fuck it, I don't care.
He loves you. He's co-hosted our show and Christian's been gone for that very reason. You love him, we love you, and we love him. It's all a big family. So thank you for being a part of this tonight.
This was awesome.
And all right, have a good night.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
We all showered. Wow.
We did shower. That is a big deal.
To have on our first show of 2021, Shanali.
Christian.
Yes.
Kadine looked so beautiful. I was like, thank goodness I took a shower, because honestly, like this whole look came in the last few minutes from everything.
Shanali, you don't second guess the look. You know, this is the first time in the history of our 80-something shows that you showed up in PJs. And that takes courage. That takes a good certain amount of courage, Shanali.
And my man would be so proud, because let me tell you, he bought these for me for my Christmas present. And I meant so much to me. I've not worn them once. He will say every other night, well, your eczema's bothering you? Wear your silk pajamas. I'm like, I don't want petroleum jelly on them. He keeps putting it out there. So he'll be so upset.
To see them silk pajamas.
I know.
I mean, I'm glad you're back to calling him your man, because while we were in rehearsal, you were.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing Get It Off Your Chest, you guys. And let me just say, we haven't done it for a long time because our show is we've just been busy. And this is, we already get it off our chest all the time. But in this moment, we want to get a few things off our chest. Jason's going to join us. And
all right, do it.
Yeah, I think he'll appreciate it. and then we'll introduce you to our next guest. So, Jason, are you here with us? Where are you? There he is.
Here he is. All right. Well, you know how we start the session, Shanali. We got to start it off with it.
Okay, let's do one, just one, so it won't go too long. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Get it off your chest. Get it off.
Get it off.
Get it off your chest. Get it off.
Get it off your chest.
Get it off. Thank you.
Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yes, I'm gonna go first. I mean, I have a million. We've just gone through this crazy time. Right now, I'm having roommate issues. My roommate is my husband. I love him dearly. I am so thankful to have him here with me. But there are little things, such as making sure you don't eat more chocolate chip cookies than I do at a time when I made them. I need to make sure. If I don't keep my eye on him, I will have eaten 2 and he will have eaten 36 or whatever.
Okay. Can I ask you a question about this, or is it you're get it off your chest and I'm not allowed to comment?
No, let you can comment, but I got one more.
Honestly, he's doing you a favor if you think about it. Because if you woke up in the morning and had to go see one of your little gym sessions and you had 4 cookies instead of 2 under your little waist,
okay,
it would have been a little harder for you to do a burpee. So Jasper's doing you a solid.
You know what? Thank you, Christian. This is why I love you. Thank you. And all of you guys worried about me, this is my humidifier. I think all of you need it. It's dry out there. I have it on high because I'm taking care of my eczema in real time right now, just so you don't worry about me. You know what, Christian? I'm going to leave it at that because you just left it on a positive note. Positive note.
Woo! All right. You know, I do a lot of get it off your chests throughout life and my day and on this show. And oftentimes they have to do with white people. And this is another case of that situation. Honestly, it doesn't have to just be white people. I think anybody really this applies to, but it's the casual use of slave. Like, oh, I'm a slave to my dog. Oh, I have to go take out my mom's mail. I'm a slave to my mother.
Wait a minute. I haven't heard that. I assume you're not making this up.
No,
I haven't heard anybody just like throwing around the word slave and like, I don't even know. I mean,
partially.
I guess maybe people say it to their work or something.
Yeah, I mean, Chanel, I think this is the reason why it annoys me is because part of me is like, wow, I thought I was like friends with people who would kind of get that would be problematic, like, period. It's like doubly problematic when like this is your audience and like your only audience. It's like you're talking to me. And then the thing that annoyed me the most is like putting me in a position to have to correct you. And so all of that kind of snowballed.
And let me tell you guys, you do not want to be in a situation where Christian has to correct you. Just side note. Okay.
Not about that. But anyway,
do not want that.
That's where I got it off my chest. Try a different word. Like laborer. Maybe like, in and out employee or something.
Or maybe more specific, like a chauffeur. I don't want to be the chauffeur. Or I don't want to be the.
Just don't reference a slave. You know what I'm saying? Just don't reference that. That's my little tip.
I think that's good advice. That's good, Christian. You know what? That was helpful. All right. Well, Jason, what about you? Do you have any? Because you usually have a lot.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm supposed to think about the things that annoy me and stuff. I can't think of a thing that annoys me right now.
What?
I've been really pissed off and annoyed for the last 10 months since like the pandemic. I've been crazy. Like my whole like Facebook feed
social media is all about the
complaining.
Little things you're annoyed.
Yeah, I'm always complaining.
That harness, that Cirque du Soleil harness you got on your back right now. That looks like something you could complain about.
No, I'm not.
Wow, this is good. Wait, let's give him a round of applause right now. Everybody at home. Jason is undergoing a really, really momentous change in his life. That is beautiful. Really. So Jason, that's amazing. You know what? I can feel, you saying that, I can feel a transformation inside myself.
Yeah.
If I could find if Jason, who complains all the time about little things,
it's like the littlest thing. Everything bothered me for the last year, and it's not.
everyone knows this, right? He had like 10 white noise machines because
Yeah,
every
they're
little
all-
move in his
Yes.
apartment
And
building
this
made
is
him
so you've
crazy.
turned over a new leaf. It sounds like.
I got these noise canceling headphones, and I can't hear anything outside. It's like I'm by
Perfect.
myself now, so
So you're good.
Sleep with those on?
I wear these about 20 hours a day, and they everything. I don't notice anything anymore. I don't notice anything that bothers me anymore.
You know what,
So
Jason? They're not just noise canceling; they're like the bothering things canceling too. Like,
yes,
you wear those, and you're not bothered.
I don't know. I'm not aware of it. Like, what's that song called? Like the less that you know, the things that you're not bothered by. Or
Less
something.
that you know. I don't know that
I don't know.
song.
There's a famous song that's something like.
Hey
has that-
guys, before we get off this, I just did see something come through the feed of a good friend of mine, Bradley, who had a question in response to my "Get It Off Your Chest."
Yes.
Does my grievance apply to Britney Spears? And I will say, I think it's a really good question. And my first response to you, Bradley, is no. It's all context-based, boo-boo. And in that case, that was specific. It was a sexual reference. Come on, we're smarter than that, right? Just casually.
Bradley, you do not want him to correct you. Like I
Don't
said,
use it
I
casually, and don't use it to me, mother clucker. But great question, Bradley. Let's move on to our.
Let's move it on. I wanted
Jason,
to just
thank
tag. I wanted to tag on to Jason. Thank you, Jason, because what you just actually confirmed for us, which Christian and I talked about, is our next show. We are going to change our "Get It Off Your Chest" to put it out there, put something good out there. This is where we're at. We need to do that for ourselves, not just for you guys. We need to put out good things, good, and like put it out there.
No,
Put it out there.
I have the idea. I have the idea for the jingle. Let me see if you can build on it, okay? Put it out, put it
You
out.
need to hurry up. Hurry up. We got to get.
Put it out, put it out. Put it out, put it out, put it out.
And
Put it
hopefully
out, put it
something good will come to you. Let's put it out there. We got to put something
So
good
clearly
out
we have
there.
to, okay.
Because something good's going to come to you. Let's do it.
It's meant to be a jingle.
Put,
All right, people.
put it out there. Put it out there.
If you have any ideas about how to improve this new jingle of "Put It Out There"? Get out into the universe. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're going to do it the next show. All right.
So yeah, you can send that in. Submit that into our chat right now, what it should be instead of "Get It Off Your Chest." What should it be in the most positive light? I had to reinterpret what Christian was saying so it translates to you exactly in English what you need to do.
No, you didn't. That was some kind of splaining, but I'm not. We don't have time.
I'm explaining. I'm Shanally explaining.
Let's move.
I ain't got a problem.
Let's move.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that rendition of "Put It Out There," and hopefully something good will come to you because it's my next new hit single coming soon out on Spotify.
That was a duet. Can we get a real musician in on this chat?
Yes, we need a real musician in here right away. Please save me. Our next friend who is entering this room is a brilliant musician. He's been performing. He's someone I've known of for years, and then I was fortunate enough to meet, and I've met again, but in real time at the We Don't Even Know show when we had the Velt playing, and his name is Greg Humphreys. He also lives in New York, where we do, and we're so happy he's here with us tonight.
Come on,
Greg.
Hey,
yeah, Greg. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's a real musician. He's got an actual, you know what? I have 2 guitars behind me. He's got 8. You see what I'm saying?
And like how many amps? And I just gotta say, I was giving compliments to Greg earlier during sound check. My friend, you are just so well integrated into your space. It's like you're like another like furniture piece. You know, is that a lamp? Is that a couch? No, it's Greg. You know what I'm saying? It's like so great, so well lit. You know, just giving me all sorts of warm and fuzzies just with the space.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I am trying very hard.
Well, you know, this is where his head's at, Greg, because he got his new couch. He can't help but see it and see in furniture terms.
I saw the segment, right? Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
How's your 2021 starting out for you?
Yeah,
well, Biden was inaugurated, so that's been great. I'm happy about that.
It was beautiful.
And you know, my my son's back in school, so that's also good.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
How old is he?
He's 7 years old. He turned 7 this week.
Oh,
That's awesome.
My sister's in town, and she's been helping with my son and my 1.5-year-old daughter.
oh, right. You have a one and a half year old.
So just a little reprieve from the childcare has been.
Wow,
I'm
bro. You're
thinking-
giving me so many nonverbals. I could be on mute, right? You could be on mute and I get everything.
You know it.
it.
Yeah, you're feeling it. It's
Heavy nonverbals.
Let's just say, as Christian and I, two adults with no kids who have plenty of friends with children, we do feel for you. But at the same time, it really helps solidify us enjoying our time.
Yeah.
I was just
Well,
saying.
I know I've already made it through
Quarantine
I've made it through everything on Netflix that I want to watch, so I don't know where you guys are at. But
I was talking to some other friends of mine who are young parents, and they have like a 3-year-old and like a 1-year-old or something. And the mom just like came to this realization, like in the middle of the day talking to me. She's like, most of what I do all day is just smell other people's butts. And like you just pick up one child, be like, nope, pick up another one. Yep. I was just like, I don't envy that. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, Jim's well out of diapers, but my making up for it.
The 7-year-old's doing all right.
Now, Greg, in normal times, you would be touring a bunch. Shonali shared with me a link to your touring page, and I was just like, my jaw dropped.
Well, and I'm going to just give a little bit of a reference point for Greg. Greg lives here in New York, but I have known about Greg's music for a long time. He was in North Carolina. He had a band called Dylan Fence. I had a musician rock and roller boyfriend in Charlotte, and he would talk about Greg's band too. And you know, they were contemporaries. And then he had a band called Hobex. And so to meet him here in New York was really a treat. I love that, you know, us Southern folk come here and decide to perform music at a time where we're at a place where it's more expensive and it takes a lot more energy, but we still have it in us to do it. It's just who we are. And you're representative of that. So how long
have you been a New Yorker, Greg?
I've been here 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved up. I met my wife at a memorial service for a really close friend of mine here.
Wow.
Passed away, and we connected and started dating long distance. And then after a year or so, I just said, "See you, Durham."
That's such a beautiful story. Wow. Cool.
Well, and key is the man moved to be where the woman was. That's special, especially in the rock star world. That's a special thing.
Thanks.
Shonali's giving you props.
Well, my wife, Rubina, is a total New Yorker, and she didn't want to leave. And frankly, I loved North Carolina, and I will always love North Carolina, but I did live there for 45 years.
Right.
So
right.
I've certainly had the North Carolina experience, and you know, who knows? Maybe I'll end up there someday. But we're sticking it out here in New York City for a while.
Nice.
So you clearly have been a musician for much longer than you lived in New York. And back to kind of what you were doing pre-pandemic, or you were on the road quite a bit, right? Like
so much. Yeah, for about 20 years, I just toured and toured and toured. You know. 150, 200 dates a year, just living out of a van.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Greg, like that way of life, I think, you know, you or I take it for granted that people really understand how that works. But ultimately, you know, that's such a small sort of group of people that do that. That's not a normal average day at the office. And so, you know, for you, what has being a musician, is it something that you've ever thought you would not do? Is it, you know, I mean, for me, I'm always like, I will always play music till I die, figure out how to do it, you know?
Absolutely. I think I'll always play music. continuing to tour definitely became a challenge near the end of Hobex, where we were just trying to get over that level where we could live comfortably, and we never really got there. And then my partner in Hobex, Andy Ware, had a daughter, and then things got more complicated. And that, for me, that was a good time to take a step back. And at that point, I stopped. I was also just burned out on the touring life, and honestly, playing electric, rock and roll, funk and soul, what have you. I was just a little shaken by it all, and I needed to take a step back. And I played acoustic music predominantly for about 5 years.
And just locally, or would you tour a little bit?
I toured some with that too, but it was just a different world.
So for
just touring, like playing coffee houses and listening rooms, and just me in my little car, not being responsible for making sure everybody is making a living, and just, for me, and also just making records. They weren't super slick or perfect, but I just felt like I had a lot of songs I wanted to get out. And so for me, that was what that time was for. And actually, I was playing a lot of band gigs during that time, but just the best ones, when someone would hire Dylan Fence to play a festival, or Hobex to play a private party or something, and the money's good and everybody has fun, and you're not just you're getting out of that grind of, okay, we got to get back in the van again, guys.
Is that what you miss the most, is just like being in that special moment of just kind of like celebrating the music, having a good time? Is that what you feel like you kind of is the one thing you miss the most out of it for someone?
I mean, the shows themselves are always the best part about being in a band. And actually, when I moved to New York, I hooked up with an old friend of mine, Matt Brando, who's an incredible bass player, and we collaborated some, and that led to forming a trio with a drummer named Keith Robinson. And so I did it again. I got back in the van and I started traveling around.
It's hard to not. I haven't been doing it as hardcore as I used to. Like you, I mean, even though you're doing less, it's still a lot compared to most musicians, even,
Yeah.
And there is still something about it, especially when you do it in a smaller, more focused way, that gives you the joy that you always had. I mean, that's the beauty. That's why you play music, right? Live music.
Absolutely.
And so, but it is such a special gift, and it is something that, especially during this pandemic, I think it's what most people are yearning for, are those experiences to be in a live room with musicians. It goes so beyond something you can articulate in words. That's the beauty of music, I think. I have a husband who's a visual artist, and he talks about that all the time, that your present tense, you being there in the moment, is your art, and no other art is like that. There's nothing else like that, a performance at that moment. Mm-hmm. Dancing is another extension of that, but even if you write a poem, that poem's going to stay. It's the music, the live concept of being in the room and like.
I agree with you, Shirley, and building off of what you say, I think that theater and live theater and every different kind of performance of a play is going to be different. So I think that what you're saying is so true with live performance, period. But particularly in music, in respect to holding space and what music can provide for people. And all I'll say, Greg, because we were talking a little bit about the fact that now you've pivoted to figuring out how to do it remotely and virtually and all that. And I will remember the night of the election, I believe, Toshi Reagan, who Shonali knows I'm a huge, huge fan of.
Yeah, she's great.
She put together this like 2.5 hour live show at Joe's Pub, which I typically go to see her, and it was an empty space. But just to your point, Shonali, the fact that I was watching her in real time, sharing this kind of moment together and holding space together, even virtually, it had a really profound effect on me. So I just want to say, Greg, you may not know it or always get the feedback, but just by virtue of you performing, even virtually, it's awesome,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then lastly, because I feel such a kindred spirit to obviously any musician, but especially musicians who've started performing live at a young age and stuck with it and just know that's who they are. Those are my people. But the stress that you talked about being the leader of a band and having to make sure everyone's okay. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the Grateful Dead documentary and see,
Yeah.
the stress on Jerry Garcia, which I've heard about, but it really, really brought it front and center in terms of understanding when there is something to being a superstar in a way where you have to carry all these people on your back
Yeah.
for
An
so
entire
long.
organization for him. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Does
I guess
anybody
for
else-
me,
Can anybody else say this on this Zoom? Because I don't know this about you, Shanali.
yeah.
Have either of you been to a Grateful Dead show?
I've been on the outside. I've been on the outside.
In the parking lot?
I've been in the parking lot.
Greg, what about you?
Yeah. Well, actually, I did see the Dead in the early, maybe 1991.
Okay.
I'm a lot older than you.
That's
guys.
the real deal.
I saw
Yeah, it was
I
great.
saw the Grateful Dead in Chicago, Soldiers Field, in 1995.
Okay.
So it was like one of the last concerts that Jerry and crew did, and the band opened for
Ooh.
the Grateful Dead. So it was
Yeah.
a double bill of epicness. So most people
Incredible.
wouldn't believe me if I said I've been a Deadhead.
I believe it. You had dreads. I saw you. You smoked pot.
Well, my hair kind of looked like this because I was a little young tuck,
Pre-dread.
pre-dread.
Greg, so you did put out music over this pandemic, right? You had a new album that came out.
I've been working on a new album.
Okay.
And
okay.
The story behind this album is, I was performing and recording a couple of albums with my trio, but I've been writing a lot of songs that don't really fit that band.
Okay.
And
what can you describe the trio?
The trio is like guitar, bass, and drums. We do sing some harmony together, mostly like in the rock and roll / funk and soul realm.
Right. Extension of maybe your older stuff.
Yeah, but just maybe a little more mature and playing with some like A-level players and and just having fun rocking out, which is what I was missing playing acoustic music.
Right.
So
right.
I went away for a while, long enough to miss it and come back swinging. So it was fun to come to New York where there are just so many talented people and just put it out there and see what we could do. But when my wife left her job at the end of her maternity leave for my daughter, we decided to pack up our apartment and go on a trip.
Oh.
And so I built kind of a looping rig to take with me so that I could record and work and not just be stuck with my acoustic guitar for this like 2 or 3 month trip.
Damn.
So in the night here or the afternoon there when I didn't have to when she was taking the kids and I had some time, I would work on it. And then we came back to New York and then the pandemic kicked in.
Right.
And so I was able to use this looping rig to kind of break it up a little bit as far as my online performances. I've done a few acoustic ones, but trying to recast old Dylan Fence or Hobeck songs or really doing some songs that I wrote with the rig while we were on this trip and since.
I love it. The rig, man. I want a t-shirt.
That's the rig.
Now, Shanali, is it time to hear some music? Now I'm like dying.
Yeah, I think so, Greg. Okay. I'm so excited.
I've been wanting to play you guys this new song.
Awesome. I'm going to put you in the spotlight, my man, so that everyone gets to see you, and we're going to mute ourselves.
Okay.
Here you go, Greg. Everyone, this is Greg Humphreys, and you're hearing him live on We Don't Even Know. And Greg, will you make sure you say the name of your song?
Yes. This song is called Putting It Out There. Sorry.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Oh, we were on mute, man. We were on mute. The reaction was swift.
So This song is called Take a Trip. And it's one I
Awesome.
wrote right before we got it together and packed it up and went on this trip together.
So cool. All right.
And I'm using the rig on this one. You and I gotta make time to take to the sky. Take a trip, catch a plane, cool our heels before we go insane. You know me, I know you. Something inside us is wild and blue. Take a trip overseas. Let's find out how it feels to be free. If we find that we miss it at home over time, we can go, we can stay, but we can't let that love slip away. You know me, I know you, and something inside us is wild and blue. Take a trip, catch a plane, cool our heels before we go insane. Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, catch a plane. Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, catch a plane. Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip. catch a plane.
Woo-hoo. Take it. Ow! Get the rig,
you
man. Give me the rig. Give me the rig.
Wow. Thank you so much, Greg.
Hey,
Thank you.
doesn't
That
want
was
to take a
so-
trick like that, my man. Wow, what a
That's
song.
such a great way to end the first episode of the new year, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what 2021 needs to be. Take a trip. You need to
Yeah.
just take a trip.
Greg, can we
Do
find
you?
that song anywhere if I need to listen to that when I clean my room tomorrow?
You know what? That song is not released yet.
All right.
But-
Well,
But
Soon
it's,
it will be.
I do it on some of these performances on Facebook Live, etc.
okay.
And I've also
You'll
got
have this recording right here that
Well,
we
there you
just
go.
did.
Just play it right
There you
here.
go.
And you want to know something, Greg? You want to know
You own
something?
it now.
I got a message for you, Greg. I got a message.
Okay.
Put it out. Put it out. Put it out.
Put it out there. Oh yeah.
Man, well, I
There
can't
we
think of a
go.
better way to end the show, my friend.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Happy
My
New
pleasure.
Year.
Goodbye.
And our love to your
Thank you.
family too. Yeah, let's do it. We're all going to be in touch. We're going to come out of this. We'll perform together. We'll do it.
I look forward to hearing you live. That'll be fun.
Thank you. I'll make
Yeah.
sure you're there.
Awesome, Greg.
Thanks, Greg,
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Christian. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you.
so
Bye,
much.
Shanali.
All right. Well, thank you, Shanali. Thank
Wow.
you, Justin, the intern. Even off camera and far away, we still love you for everything you do for us. Jason Lamb, Shanali, who else?
Jason Lamb, can you get back to us? Jason, man. It's
There
so
he
good.
is.
So
The
good to
man with
have
the
you.
best posture in New York City, Jason Lamb.
Wait, that's scary. Sorry, that was
Are
scary.
you there? Jason, thank you so much for actually, you really, like, his transformation also synced with us. We need to do this, put it out there, putting out there good things. Thanks to Jason Lamb for inspiring us. He's not annoyed anymore, and that's such a huge thing in our life. I've been so used to like enjoying how annoyed he is with so many things in the world on a daily basis. I have found him to be entertaining and funny throughout it all. But I also know he seriously is annoyed when it comes down to it. So I'm happy you're at a better place, Jason.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
happy you're in a
it's
better
good.
place, Shanali. You know, you're
Thank
not
you.
knowing as much. So
Thank
different.
you, Christian.
I know
thank-
that Jasper would second my assessment. I think your roommate. But anywho,
I also not quickly, I would love if we could spend more time on this, but I do want to share the fact that not too long ago, a few weeks ago, we lost two friends of We Don't Even Know. One of them was a former guest on our show, episode 55. Her name is Katie Lazarus. She's supremely hysterical. She hosted her own show, Employee of the Month show. She, throughout her battle with cancer, she was always so upbeat, positive, fun, just like an inspirational human. And she's gone too soon. So we really are so thankful that we had time with her while she was here with us.
Shanali, she's the last person that I went to go see a theater show with. And I will just second everything you said. All of her challenges were in the back seat and she led her life with joy. So I will always remember those moments and she will be missed.
Yes. And then another friend who actually, I think on the very first show we did, his name is Sam Jane, and he was the front man of a band called Love is Laughter. I think on the very first show we did, I of course asked him, because he's one of my favorite artists, outside of being my friend, that we used his music on the show. But in general, he's such a huge spirit in the worlds like Jason and I of indie rock music, and just people in New York City. They're always making all these fun, awesome things happen just in the arts in general. And so all of you that have also been experiencing loss in this past year, we're with you. This isn't easy. It's sad, but hopefully you can find like what was great or what is great about these humans to keep celebrating throughout your life. And we're going to continue doing that on this show. That's what we do. And so
Even when it
I
gets
just,
hard, Shanali, it's still
even when it gets hard, even
celebrating.
and love, you know, giving each other a hard time is a part of that. So, you know, Christian, you know, I give you grief. I want to make sure everyone sees your shirt real quick before we get off the air. Can you make sure? This is Christian's shirt from from college,
No,
right?
High school.
High school. Who got big lips? That is from,
wondering,
I mean, high school.
If you're wondering the answer to that question, it's me. And on that note, I think we can end the show.
Well, I just, real quick, on that note, it should say, who's got a big mouth? That
No,
would
we
be
done. Shanali, thank you everything. Jason, thank
Love you guys.
for everything. We love
Happy
you.
New Year.
Everybody have a
We
good
love you.
day. We
Thanks
out.
to
We
our
out.
guests,
Out.
Kadine Anckle and Greg
Kadine,
Humphreys.
thank
Thank
you.
you.